Okay. So this is the material. Please, all of you, keep your material with you. Syllabus subject name is Fundamentals of Laws and Ethics, Foundation Paper 3, and I'm using the January 2021 version. It's available in the Institute website. I downloaded from the Institute website. Reprint January 2021. Okay. And syllabus 2016. The marks proportionate is 70% for commercial law and 30% is for ethics. Out of this 70%, Contract Act is for 40%, Sale of Goods Act 20%, Negotiable Instrument Act 10%, Ethics and Business 30%. So this is the breakup. And level of skill required is you can say average or medium level. And also it is I guess it is 1 mark oriented only, correct? Nowadays all the exams, foundation, inter and final, all 3 exam level they are asking in 1 mark pattern only. So what I plan is I will cover this fundamental of ethics 30 marks first, then later on I will cover Sale of Goods Act and Negotiable Instrument Act, and whatever the portion left out in Contract Act, that also I will cover. Okay, that is my plan. And this is basically theory topic. Actually theory, you can say even law, legal, rules and regulations, whatever is there we have to learn and we have to apply, that's it. Okay. For foundation level they don't test much case laws and all. Also they will expect from you some basics definition, whether you are understood the meaning or not. That is the expectation from the examination point of view. So what is the meaning, language, English, and whether you are able to understand, that is what tested in the foundation level. So we need to spend more time for material, because anything maybe 99 to 100% you can expect from material, at least 90% from the material you can expect for examination. So we have to focus on material. Okay, I hope all of you, most of you completed and coming through directly from +2. So still maybe foundation level, that schooling level, whatever you applied, schooling in +2 level, whatever you applied, the same thing you can apply for foundation also, especially this law paper. Okay, so whatever the way you studied, the same way you can study here also. But the point is little bit visualization, little bit thinking, additional thinking, little bit this is not only mug upping or something like that. You have to visualize the topic and you have to understand the meaning. Practically you have to think, practically you have to visualize the points. That is what the difference between +2 and the foundation. So simply not mug upping, or it is not like that you are studying 10 pages, 5 pages. It is not like that. What meaning you understood from that, that is what very very important. Okay, so and also this is my first class for foundation level. I used to take for inter usually group 2 company accounts and auditing, and group 1 also I took for costing and law also I took for group 1, but foundation level I normally don't use to teach. But anyhow, this is very good opportunity to meet you all, to interact with you, to share the knowledge which I am possessing. So I hope my name is, my name. My name is Gauri Shankaran, and I'm a qualified chartered accountant, cost accountant, and also a company secretary. So, especially nowadays, CMA course, passing the CMA course is not very tough. You can easily clear. So don't feel that this is a very, highly tough course or competitive course. If you put a decent efforts, definitely you can expect a good result. That to foundation level, definitely the pass percentage is also high. So if you put a decent efforts, definitely you will pass this exam with good, very good marks. Okay, that is the scenario now. That is the situation now. After making this online pattern, you can expect a very lenient type of correction also, because questions are there at very lenient basic level. So don't fear about the course, or whether I will can able to understand or something like that. What is required is consistency. What is required is consistency. Whether you are a very average performer in schooling level or top performant guy in a schooling level, that is okay, that is also considered. But what is required here is you are whether you are able to consistently preparing for the course or not, whether you are able to understanding the concept or not. That is what very important. Okay, so even I will share a lot of things in upcoming classes. You can even message me later how to overcome all your fears and other difficulties for preparation of this course. Definitely I will share whatever the experience I have. So we will move to the topic, fundamentals of ethics. Fundamentals of ethics, section B. Ethics, they have made it as meaning, importance, then 7 principles of public life: selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership, relationship between ethics and law, ethics in business. This is what the small introduction. We'll directly go to the particular so ethics and business. Okay, forget about ethics. Forget about ethics. I normally, try to interact. That too, this type of general knowledge topic and all, we have to interact. This is not like a sum, or this is not entry, journal entry, or mathematics. This is like more about a discussion. This is more or less about like a discussion, because this is purely general knowledge topic. This is not rules, this is not regulation, this is not law, this is not act. No mug upping, nothing. You have to interact as a general, as a common person, as a public, how you are interacting, because this is about day-to-day life. Whatever you are studying is about day-to-day life. Okay, so what is generally business? As per you, what is business? As per you, what is business? Just try to put your comments chat box. Try to put your comments. Don't google it, or don't make it hard or something. It's just a discussion. I want to discuss with you. As per you, what is business? Generally, the activities which involves Platform to earn maximum profit. Business where people work together for a common objective, making profit. Buying and selling of goods and services. Profit earning organization. Profit earning organization. Profit making. Good. Exchange of money for buying a commodity. Making profits, trading, buying and selling. Buying and selling as a way of earning. Activities done toward making maximum profit. Earning money, respect, knowledge. Good. Management, making maximum profit. That is business. Good. Very good. Economic activity. Good, 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 good. All your answers are agreeable in nature. Business generally okay. Say for example, someone is doing sand business. Say for example, someone is doing sand business. Sand, toy, what you can say, sand business for building construction and other things. They are doing sand business. Okay, they are just digging the sand and they are selling to the customers with the license they are selling. Okay, they are they can dig for some for example 110 or 210 per day. That is the limit allowed. But they are digging additionally 1 ton, which is not in the license. Whether they are doing business or and the purchase and sales are happening regularly. Purchase and sales are happening regularly. Nobody is they are not caught by police also. They are not caught by police also. Already this sand mafia and all. Lot of peoples are smuggling the sand from river, and they are selling, but they didn't caught by police. They didn't caught by government officials. Whether they are doing business or not, they are doing business. Illegal activity, illegal business, illegal business. Yes, of course, it is illegal as well as unethical. It is illegal as well as unethical. Correct. So business, anybody can do the business, but legally, ethically, how can we do business? That is what we are going to study. There is a business involved, but the ethic is not there. There is a business is involved, but ethic is not there. What is ethics then? What is ethics then? What is ethics? Moral values. Business, sir, but they are not doing legal business according to license, following rules and regulation, more obligation which are expected to perform. Ethics. What is generally ethics? Legal activities, something which give legal moral, legal business, good conduct. See, legally everything is covered. Whatever the unethical things which is covered legally, but there are some activities which is not covered by legal. Still, we should not do it because it is a business ethics. Because it is a business ethics, we cannot do that. But most majority of the unethical activities covered under the law. So if we do it, it becomes illegal, and also it is unethical. It is not ethical. Okay. For example, corruption. Corruption, giving corruption to the officers and getting the license. Giving corruption to officers and getting the license, and I am doing my business properly. I am not doing any illegal activity. But whether ethic is there or not, for getting the license, I have to pay some corruption amount. But my business is legal business. I'm going to do legal business. See, license they will give within 90 days, but I want immediately. Within the same day, I want license. There is no waiting period. What I should do? I have to give some corruption. Why? Simply for license I need immediately. But my business is legal business. I am not going to do any illegal business. Whether I have done some ethical thing or not an ethical thing. It is not ethical. It is not ethical. Unethics. Yes, of course. That is what important. That is what very, very important. You know, say for example, we caught by a traffic police for some reason. They are asking some bribe, 100 rupees or 200 rupees. And you are paying that. All these things will come under the ethics. Okay. So we will get into the topic. We will get into the topic now. This is, I just wanted to discuss generally what is ethics and what is not ethics. Okay. So introduction. Come to introduction. Please, all of you take your material. Please, all of you take your material. Keep your material with you. That will be better. Because one is we have to understand the meaning. Another one is, I think it is around less than 10 pages only. If you see now, how many pages? 143. For page number 143, it starts and it ends with 149. That means only 7 pages. See, 7 pages, 30 marks. 7 pages, 30 marks. That means each page is having minimum 4 marks. Each page is having minimum 4 marks. If you read one page, now you already got 4 marks in your hand. Got it or not? So first, for the purpose of understanding the subject, we have to study. That is first point. Understand the concept, we have to study properly. Second point, benefit also. If you see now one page, if you read now, you will get 4 marks. Because totally 7 pages, it's 30 marks topic now. So minimum this 4 into 7, 28 marks you are getting. Balance extra 2 marks. So we have to go through. We have to think. We have to study the topic properly. Okay. Introduction. The study of ethics. The study of ethics is a systematic science. Study of ethics is a systematic science. Systematic science. Its scopes encompasses all human relationships. Its scopes encompasses all human relationships in a society. Okay. Ethics is not about only for business. Ethics is applicable everywhere. That's what they are saying. It encompasses all human relationship in a society. Ethics is not for only business. Ethics is for society, which includes business. That is how we have to think. Ethics, also known as moral philosophy, is a branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concept of right and wrong conduct. Ethics, also known as moral philosophy. Moral philosophy is a branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong conduct. Morally, this is correct. Morally, this is wrong. Morally, I should not do like that. From that only ethics came. That's what they are trying to say. Okay, it is not came in one day or one year. It is a practice followed, policies, procedures followed for many years, which formed an ethics. Okay, morally this is correct. Morally this is wrong. Morally I should not copy in examination. Illegal also. But morally this is immoral. like that, na. So that way we have to think. Okay, it is immoral for some reason. So next line, the study of ethics can be divided into four operational areas. Four, you remember, for 1 mark purpose. Study of ethics can be divided into four operational area: meta ethics, normative ethics, descriptive ethics, and applied ethics. Four. How it is divided into four category. Okay, we will discuss what is all those ethics and all we will discuss, but for 1 mark purpose, you remember what I'm specifically saying, you just mark down in your notebook. I hope all of you having your material with you. If you don't have, please take your material with you and mark down wherever it is required, because each page is 4 marks. Each page is 4 marks. Even I will give you 1 minute time also. Each page 4 mark is there. Even I will give you 1 minute time. Please, all of you, keep your material with you and try to mark here and there wherever you feel wanted to mark. You can mark it, so that will give more comfortable to you. Please, all of you, keep your material. So I am going to read the next para. Ethics fundamentally comprises of two elements. Ethics fundamentally comprises of two elements. Firstly, ethic refers to well-founded standards of right and wrong that describe what humans ought to do in terms of rights, obligation, benefits to society, etc. So what they are saying now, ethics means it is a standard which is followed by people. In that standard, we come to know this is right, this is wrong, this we should not do, this we should do. You know, just planting trees wherever possible is a good thing. But cutting the trees because I want to lay a road there, or else it is giving disturbance to me, or else mosquito problem. It is like that I'm saying. Then it is not an ethics. Which topic you taken, sir? Please tell me. Ethics only I am taking. Ethics only I am taking. That's what I am discussing now. I think you came at off the way. So what they are saying now, ethics fundamentally contains two things. One is, sir, what is ethics, sir? If you follow in ethics, you can able to know what is right, what is wrong. Cutting the trees unnecessarily is not an ethic, proper ethic. It is a problem to the human. It is problem to the society. For your own benefit, please don't cut the tree unnecessarily. Okay. Second one is, what is second one? Secondly, ethic refers to study and development of one's ethical standard. See, ethics also will develop day by day. Meaning, develop means what? Before 100 years, what is the ethics? Will not be ethics now. Before 100 years, we would have followed some ethics, but now it is changed. Before 100 years, there will be lot of different layer of caste system, domination and other things. Now those things are lot of changes is happening. So it will change on day by day, year by year. So what is the next point? So it is necessary to constantly examine one standard to ensure they are reasonable as well as founded. What they are saying now, ethics means once it is introduced, it is not constant. You have to review the ethics according to the nature, according to the generation, according to the people. We have to update the ethics also. That's what they are saying. Okay. What is the next thing? Next para. Let us first try to analyze the key terms, ethics and morals. Note the linguistic use of the terms. They seem as if they are in the plural form, just as economics or politics, but we treat them as a singular. Generally, ethics and morals are used as synonyms. There is nothing wrong in such a usage. For after all, their meanings of all words depends on their common usage. However, in formal study, we need to understand the meaning of term in a qualified way as to make our subject of study precise and well defined. What they are saying, ethics and moral is, they are saying, as since it looks like a plural, because yes is there now, yes is there in last ethics, but it is as a singular only. They are saying we have to consider as a singular only. This is, they are talking about English grammar, plural, singular, all those things. Forget about those things, that is not important. But what the point you have to understand is, ethics versus moral, both are same or different. Ethics versus moral, both are same or different. That's what they are saying. Ethics versus moral, both are same or different. Just tell me your views. Ethics versus moral, both are same or different? Ethics versus moral, both are same or different? I'm asking. Different. 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 Similar but not the same. Similar. Similar. Different. Similar. Different. Ethics versus moral. Not same but similar. Okay, different. Say for example, moral. You take moral. Lot of moral is there, no, because of our culture, religion, and practice. Lot of moral is there. Okay, lot of moral is there. Lot of moral means, for example, traditional. It is religion oriented, God oriented. Also, if you follow something, then it becomes moral. It is a part of our moral. It is a part of our moral. For example, Friday. This is not for all the religion. Just for an example, I'm saying Friday we should not eat non-veg for some particular community or a particular religion. Whether it is ethics or moral, I don't eat non-veg at on Fridays. Whether it is related to ethics or moral. Moral, moral, ethics, moral, ethics, moral. Customing ourselves, customization. Yes, moral is based on customization, practice, culture, religion. That is, from there only moral arise actually. But ethics is little bit different. Ethics is little bit different. Eating on Friday non-veg, I'm not violating any ethics. I'm not violating any ethics if I eat non-veg on Friday. But it is not moral for me. It is immoral for me, because I have some beliefs. I have some beliefs. I have some hopes. I'm following something. I'm following some custom. I'm following some culture. So as per my culture, I should not eat non-veg on Friday. Like that, only we have to differentiate between ethics versus moral. Okay. It is not illegal. It is not an illegal thing if I'm eating a non-veg at Friday, but it is against my moral. I have some I'm following something. What I'm following? I'm following my culture, my tradition. So moral is based on culture, tradition. A group of people following something. Now we will follow that. So from there we are arriving that moral. Okay, got it or not? So that is what I think here they are discussing again. Same para what we studied in previous para, now this para, same para again copy pasted here. Whatever the para we studied, Same para again copy pasted in this para. So I'm going to ignore this para. I'm going for the next page. Okay. Introduction. Over. Okay. Next page. So you see now how this ethics came, from where the ethics is coming. Morality, that is the primary thing. From that I am doing some rationalization, ethical rationalization, then ethics is coming. Then I am writing something, what is correct, what is not correct. That is called ethic produces ethical theory. Meta ethics, normative ethics, abnormal ethics, all those things. I am writing what is correct, what is not right, what is good, what is bad, what we should follow, what we should not follow. Then once I am following that, my problems are solved ethical problems. That's what the flow chart. Okay. Then you can see the difference between ethics and moral. You can see the difference between ethics and moral. First line, 1 mark purpose, this will be helpful for you. Please remember all these points. Root word means from where it came. Root word in Greek is ethikos. Root word in Greek is ethikos, which means character. Ethics means character, and also it is coming from Greek word which means character. Ethikos, you remember ethikos. Root word in Greek is mos, mos, which means custom, culture, practice. All these things are related thing. So moral means custom. Mos, that is mos actually. Greek is mos. In Greek, ethics means ethikos. Okay. Second point, deals with right and wrong conduct. Deals with the right and what is right, what is wrong. Follow the ethics. Deals with the principles of right and wrong. Principles means who is framing that? Based on my culture, based on my tradition, based on my custom, based on my religion. That is principles. But right and wrong means simply I'm writing what is right, what is wrong. That is ethics. Third point, deals with individual character. Deals with individual character. Deals with the custom set by groups. Custom set by groups, moral generally. Okay. So deals with the individual character, deals with custom set by groups. Groups. I don't eat non-vegetarian. Who taught me for a particular day? It is our customs. It is our culture. Okay, that is related to moral. Character is personal attribute. Character is personally attribute. Characters are customs are determined. Groups are some authority like religion or culture. Okay. I don't give bribe. I don't give bribe. That is related to ethics, because it is not an ethics, proper ethics. Okay. So fifth point, ethic is the response of an individual to a specific situation, whether in that situation it is ethical to state the truth or not. Yes, of course, ethic is the response of an individual to a specific situation. Someone wants to get a bribe from me, I don't give that, because that in that situation it is not an ethics, so I don't follow that. Morals are general principle, you should speak truth, otherwise God will what you can say, God will do something on your eyes. Na, God will do something on your eyes if you speak if you don't speak truth, then God will put a knife on your eyes. Punish, God will punish you like that. Where it came? It came from moral only. Okay. That's the difference between ethics versus moral. I'll go to the next topic. Evaluation of ethics. Evaluation of ethics. How ethics evaluated? When there are people, when there are good and bad, when there are social change, when there are lot of thoughts process, lot of business, or when the money came, normally ethics also will come, because there will be lot of injustice, upward, downward, good, right, wrong, bad, all this thing is there now, then automatically ethics will come, because when there is a devil, there should be some goodness to control those devil, so ethics will be there definitely. So evaluation of ethics. Social conduct has evolved, that's what they are saying. Social conduct means what? People is doing something, that something becomes social conduct. Social conduct has evolved along with the evaluation of society over hundreds of years. It is not came in one day. Society came, first generation, second generation, third generation. Now we are in 2021 now. That means 2021 year is already over. So through this evaluation, the codes, second last line I am reading. The code of conduct have been, the code of conduct, second line, the code of conduct have been passed down from generation to generation, and there is a pattern to evaluation of such codes. Yes, of course. Before 300 years, I would have followed some rules. Now that would have changed. Before 200 years or 300 years, only men can do lot of things. Women should be at home. All these things, ethics, because they have to be at home and they have to take care the home holds. All this thing is there, because that is the ethics, that is the moral in that 300 years, 400 years back. But now the things are changed. We can't follow the old ethics. Got it or wrong? Got it. So that's what they are saying. I'm reading again. The codes of conduct have been passed down from generation to generation, and there is a pattern to the evaluation of such codes. Acceptable behavior is promoted and evaluated as a social value, and unacceptable behavior is rejected and condemned. You got it or not? Before 100 years, I would have done something that I cannot do now. Before 100 years, what is right is not right now, because behavior pattern, the human things are changing. We are more and more, what you can say, more and more we are educating or something like that, developing human values, all those things. Because of that, behavior and all, we have to change it. That's what they are saying. Acceptable behavior is promoted and elevated as a social value, and unacceptable behavior is rejected and condemned. What is followed previously, now you can't do that. That's what they are saying. In ancient India, there was no moral problem with the custom of sati emulating the wife on the funeral pyre or the deceased husband. Before, what happened? Before 100 years and all, if a husband got died then their wife also should jump on that same burial thing, whatever, if it is on fire, then she should also jump. That is acceptable. That's what they are saying. In ancient India, there was no moral problem with the custom of sati emulating the wife on the funeral pyre or the deceased husband. But now, whether we can follow that same thing, we'll be in jail immediately. We do that, because it is immoral, unethical, illegal, everything. Yeah, I'm reading continuation. But society has evolved humanly and has condemned the act as unacceptable and morally reprehensible. Okay, I'm reading the second para now. The laws of a country are based on the customs or moral codes of its society. penalties are prescribed for bad actions that contradict the established law. Yes, of course. How we are following the law? Based on their morals and customs. Morals and customs. Got it or not? Penalties are prescribed for bad actions that contradict the established law. The laws are measured against those people who cross the limits of code of social conduct and ensure that good citizens are protected from the negative consequences of the lawbreaker. Of course, that's what, again, you take that Sati example. If you do like that, then you will be in jail. Okay. So religion is also related to morals, and religious lenders propagated human values. In the name of religion, people started believing in God and customs were introduced. They are discussing about God now. CME Institute material, directly they went for discussing about people started believing in God and how the people started believing in God. All those things they are discussing. Even it is very new to me. Third para. The object of social codes of conduct is to maintain, promote, and evaluate harmonious relationship. Why this code of conduct? Why this ethics? We have to live our life harmonious relationship, not any problem to anybody. Okay. Honor your parents is one such code of conduct. We are always giving respect. We should give respect to our parents. That is kind of code of conduct. It maintains a peaceful relationship between parents and children and promotes respect for each other in a family. It is because of its salutary effects, it is considered as one of the fundamental value to be cultivated. It is more about moral, because our tradition, we have to give respect to anywhere in the world, we have to give respect to parents, moral, ethical, everything. Okay. Application. How to apply this ethics? That is application. The relevance of ethics in application. The relevance of ethics in application. Simply, it is not like written in the paper. Simply, it is not written in the paper. We have to apply. That is called application. Okay. What is that? We will read. Relevance of ethics in its application. Just as when we study the theory of relativity in physics, now they came to physics actually directly. From ethics, they jumped into physics. We will see what is there inside the physics. Just as when we study the theory of relativity in physics, we ensure that laws or principles of relativity are applied to the factors and elements being considered. So too in our study of ethics, the universal principles have to be applied to individual contexts and situations. Like we are applying physics, ethics also we have to apply. That's what they are saying. You got it or not? Universally, we have to apply this ethics. I will continue further. We have to abandon the absolutism of universal principle. For instance, killing a man is a wrong, but we approve the killing of the enemy in a war, and the government honors the act with medals of bravery. So what they are saying? So we have to apply the ethics. Where we have to apply the ethics now? See, killing a man is a moral or immoral? Tell me. Killing a man is a moral or immoral? Killing a man is a moral or immoral? Tell me. Immoral, immoral, immoral. Immoral, immoral. Based on the case, immoral. It depends upon the situation. In India, mostly it is immoral only. Correct? Even though he is an accused person, he has done lot of crime. Killing them is an immoral only now, mostly. Even you can't what you can say, this what is that punishment is there now? What punishment it is? Very rare only they will give hanging punishment and all, because there are a lot of protection is going against hanging also. Hanging a criminal to death is a moral and ethical. But in India, even hanging a criminal also very difficult, because that's how we are looking on that aspect. We can't kill one person easily. If you see hanging stories and all, very very less only in India. You can count even maybe 10 or 20 or less than 50 in overall 75 years, because they are more or less, even though it is even though legally permitted, still they are thinking whether we should give that type of punishment, because we are in India, because here it is mostly treated as an immoral one. But same in same India, but in same India, in border they will kill the people daily, terrorists, because they are terrorists. Even though that is also immoral, but that is coming under ethical, but that is ethics. What is ethics? You got it or not? Even though killing them also immoral, but that is coming under ethics. Ethically it is correct, even though it is immoral, ethically it is correct. You got it or not? That's what they are saying there. That's what they are saying. For instance, killing a man is wrong. You just read this point. For instance, killing a man is wrong, but we approve the killing of the enemy in a war, and the government honors the act with medals for bravery. If I kill one in border, na, then they are we will put a medal for them. Okay, but because that is coming under ethics. This is due to the fact that such an act has served a higher principle, that is the protection of countrymen. Okay, ethics in practical sense is also known as moral action and an applied discipline that deals with a particular human action and also assess to what extent it is compatible with the general principles. Okay, when I do something, na, then it becomes moral action and applied discipline. With the discipline, I am killing one fellow. With moral, I am killing one fellow, because I am standing in border, I am protecting my country. For that, I will receive medal. Okay, but if I kill the crime, then it is not at all acceptable, because it is immoral. Nobody have a rights to kill anyone. I will go to the next page. 7 principles of public life. Even you remember that this seven principles of public life, and you have to remember the heading also: selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. Selflessness, integrity. I will explain what is this. I will explain later. For the time being, you just keep in your mind, because they will ask 1 mark from this also. Selflessness is one of the public in principles of life. Integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. I will explain what it is later. Next page it is there. I will explain. 7 principles totally. Value free ethics. What is this value free ethics? Value free ethics. What is the meaning of value free ethics? Value free ethics. Can you put a rate for ethics? If you don't do na, then this is the value. 1 lakh rupees I will pay. If you are a good character person, 2 lakh rupees I will pay. Value free ethics. What is the meaning? Whether ethics is having value, which can be defined in the monetary terms. I am asking a question. Say for example, one person is very good person in the classroom. One person is very good person in very good character in his classroom. He is a very very good character person. For that good character, how much is the value? Tell me. What is the character? Good character person value. He is a very, very good character person. Then what is the value I can put for that good character? Tell me. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Priceless. Priceless. Not measurable. Intangible. Not measurable. So value free ethics is like that only. Ethics you can't put value. If you do this good conduct, then 1 lakh rupees. If you do this conduct, then 2 lakh rupees. If you have this, if you have a character like Mahatma Gandhi, then 10 lakh rupees. It's not like that. That's what they are saying, value free ethics. Okay, we will see what is there inside. It would seem that business is an ethically neutral or value free activity. It would seem that business is an ethically neutral or value free activity. In other words, the only value business is considered is which is the monetary value. Business is different totally. Business you will have definitely monetary value. Okay, it is not in the interest of business to mix ethical values. And ancient Arabic wisdom states, live together like brothers and do business like strangers. Yes, of course, in business, what is the thing with you and me? You are my customer, I am your vendor. You are not my brother in my business. We are doing business. That we will do ethically, that's it. Business should kept free from the other social relationship and obligation. When I am doing a business, you are my customer, I am a purchaser, you are a seller, that's it. Got it? The only successful relationship that exists in business is that of vendor and a customer. Vendor and a customer. Even fill in the blanks you can get. The only successful relationship that exists in a business is that of a vendor and a customer. Continuation. It is also said that for merchant, even honesty is a financial speculation. That's what they are saying. If somebody is saying, "No, I'm a businessman and I'm very honest, sir," then we will think he is trying to do some fraud. That's why he is saying honesty. He is trying to get some discount from us. That's why you're talking like an honest person. That's what they're saying. It's a financial speculation. He's trying to marketing himself as a good person, good character person. Then we will judge his character also because he is doing business. Indeed, for a businessman, every factor in the business is measured in terms of money. Of course, businessman, everything is measured in terms of money, but not ethics. The volatility that we see in stock market is a clear example of speculative nature of business. That's what they are saying. Stock market, you see, there is nothing to do with ethics. Valuation is going up and down daily. Stock market index is up, going down, sometimes going up. Corona, it's index will come down. Corona is stable, no problem. Then index will go up because it's a business. Definitely daily basis it will go up and down. Okay. Concept of value free ethics. Concept of value free ethics. The concept of value free ethics, the concept of value free business ethics appear to be quite appealing to businessmen. It has thought it may be pursued devoid of all rules with a social vacuum. The concept of value free ethics found application in economics in a rather ionical fashion. See, previous topic they unnecessarily included physics. Now they went to economics. Okay. The concept of a value-free ethics found application in economics in a rather ionical fashion. Ludwig von Mises, there is one person. I don't know whether I'm spelling correctly or not. That person called Ludwig von Mises, known as father of the Australian School of Economics. Remember, one mark purpose. Who is the father of Australian School of Economics? Ludwig von Mises is the father of Australian School of Economics. Okay, what he said, proposed the pure theory of economics, stating that economic concepts are a priori. That is, they are not dependent on experience, but are purely virtual concept. Simply written in document, they are saying virtual concept only, but not based on experience. They are saying economics. The concept of choice, comma, for instance, is a pure concept. It is immaterial whether one chooses water or wine, but the concept itself is free of particular elements. Hence, choice is value free. Applied to ethics, it would mean that it should be able to study the principles of this discipline, such as goodness, truth, justice, honor, etc., in their pure form. What they are finally trying to say is ethics means it is a value free thing. It consists of goodness, truth, justice, honor in their pure form. That's what they are trying to say. Okay. Then come to the next heading, new heading. Ethic as a principle. Ethic as a principle. We have established that social evolution as a developed definite principle of a civic behavior, which have attained the status of principle. We have established that social evolution as a developed definite principles of civic behavior, which have attained the status of principles. By principles, we understand that something proceeds. Break, sir. Someone is asking break. All of you guys want break, huh? Break. Normally, I don't give breaks and all. Okay, I will give you some 5 minutes break. We can meet in 5 minutes. Okay, we will continue. Ethics as a principle. We have established that social evaluation has developed a definite principles of civic behavior. Social evaluation definitely made a civic behavior very well cultured behavior. Yes, of course, which have attained the status of principles. By principle, we understand. By principle, we understand that something proceeds and depends on it for a cause. For instance, when one kicks a football, see, they are trying to give an example actually. When one kicks a football, force is the principle that propels it into motion, and the ball remains in motion till the force lasts. In other words, physical world functions strictly according to the law of physics. It is expected that people also submit their behavior both in thoughts and action to these principles. An action is valid as long as it reflects the principles, just as the speed of moving ball depends on the force it receives. While kicking the ball, it will go to some extent, depends on the force we kicked. Na? Similarly, based on our behavior and actions, whatever the thing we did, it will becomes valid. That's what they are saying. I don't know why they are giving this much tough, difficult examples for you. All moral actions are directed towards their object. Of course, if I'm morally, if I'm doing na, there is some objective on that. The good, which is the principle of all happiness, this is not the only sole purpose for our existence, but our coexistence with other as well. We cannot be happy alone. We can only be happy together. The universal idea of the good is applied to individual instances. Individuals are good in their own particular way and are good in so far as they share the essence of goodness. The universal good is a pure or general idea. It is formed through a process of abstraction of the essence from individuals or particulars. It is more or like teaching or no, this is more less CMA course and more some what you can say. Normally, this type of things will be discussed by some yogi or some religious teachers will be there now. They only will discuss all these things. So it is a general topic. If you are a good, then everyone will be good, and we cannot happy ourselves. We have to be happy together. That's what they are trying to say. Okay. We'll come to the topic, main topic: business ethics as a professional code. Business ethics as a professional code. With the business ethics is not a pure science, but a professional practice. And society expects businessmen to abide by the principles of a civil society, just as it expects professionalism from other areas such as medicine, bureaucracy, politics, and sports to do so. Thus, instead of value-free business ethics, we have a value-loaded or value-based business practice. Business is not only science. What they are saying now, it is not a science, pure science. It is a professional practice. Like a doctor, like a policeman, like a politician, like a sportsman. Businessmen also, they have some professional ethics. They have to follow that. That's what they are saying. You got it or not? Doctor, how they are safeguarding the patient. Like a policeman, how they are safeguarding the public. Politician, how they are serving the peoples. Likewise, businessmen also, they have to follow some ethics. That's what they are saying. 7 principles of public life, very important. Selflessness. Public life. When I'm coming to public life, when I am going to study IAS after qualifying my CMA, I'm directly going for IAS. Then you have to follow these public life principles. Selflessness. I'm ready to sacrifice myself for my people and public and for this government, for this country. I am not selfish guy. I am not working for my own benefit. I'm working for the people. I'm working for the government. Got it or not? That's what selflessness. I'm reading, holders of public office should take decisions solely in terms of the public interest, not for my personal interest. You got it or not? I should not enjoy the public assets. I should take decision only for public interest. They should not do so in order to gain financial or other material benefits for themselves, their family, or their friends. Getting bribe is not a selflessness activity. Getting benefits from the money out of the public is not a selflessness activity. Okay. Using government asset for the public personal purpose is not a selfless activity. That's what they are saying. Then integrity. What is integrity? What is integrity? I have to keep my data confidentiality to whatever the data given to me. I have to keep confidentially. I should not leak out the data. Voting machine tampering the voting machine because someone is giving money. I'm going to tamper the voting machine. I'm a public officer, not allowed, because you are not integrity officer. You are not maintain the integrity officer. You are not maintain that integrity aspect. You are leaking the information. You are breaching the trust. You are sharing the confidential information. Not allowed. Holders of public office should not place themselves under any financial or other obligation to outside individuals or organization that might influence them in their performance or other official duty. Outside individual I should not do any obligation. Got it? I have to keep confidential everything. Where is the auto bomb stored in India? I'm a military officer. I have to keep integrity. I should not tell to everyone auto bomb is stored in this place only. Anyone can go and just have a look on that. Enjoy looking the auto bomb. I should not say that. Correct or wrong? Then objectivity. I should have some object. What is my object? To promote the life standard of life of the public. I should have some object while working. I have some objective. I should not simply work for daily basis. I'm coming, putting attendance and going to home, getting salary, sleeping. It is not like that. I should have some object. Why I appointed? What is the reason? How I'm going to make a change to this society? That is what important for public life. Objectivity, what they said, in carrying out public business, including making public appointments, awarding contract, recommending individual or reward and benefit, holder of public should make choices on merit. I should not give contract to my relative. I should not give contract. Getting commission, I should not give contract. That's what they are saying. Accountability. Whatever the decision you are making, you are accountable. You got it on what I'm saying? You are making some decision, then you are accountable for that. If it is a very, very wrong decision, then you have to be penalized for that. Because they have given some power to you to take decision, but you have not taken properly. Then you are accountable for the wrong decision. Mismanagement. Accountable. They are accountable. Who has done the mismanagement? They are accountable. Very weak decision. Worst decision. Then they are accountable. Accountability. Holders of public office are accountable for the decision and action to the public and must submit themselves to whatever the scrutiny is appropriate to their office. Then what? Openness. You should not hide anything from the public. Whatever the policy should be disclosed, you should be disclosed properly to the public. You should not keep all the information with you. Whatever the information should be circulated, you have to circulate within the timeline. Openness, that's what. Holders of public office should be open as possible about all the decision and action that they take. They should give reason for the decision and restrict information only when the wider public interest clearly demands. Then honesty, of course. You should not get bribe. You should not tell lies. You should not be lazy when you are in a position. Honestly, that's what holders of a public office have a duty to declare any private interest relating to their public duties and to take steps to resolve any conflicts arising in a way that protects the public interest. If I have any personal interest with some contract, then I have to disclose. Sir, I'm already having, my wife is only director in that company. So please don't give contract to them. Otherwise, they will get benefit. Like that, I have to disclose. Honesty is required. Even though sometimes what will happen, inspector, police inspector, son itself will be a thief or criminal, then that police inspector should behave honestly. They have to arrest his son also. That is how honesty. Then leadership. Of course, simply working is not enough. You have to give guidance. You have to monitor the things. You have to monitor the performance. You have to give ideas, suggestions. You have to direct the peoples. That is leadership. Holders of public office should promote and support these principles by sound leadership and prove an example whatever they perform. Okay. So where it is extracted, first report of the Committee on Standards of Public Life, UK, May 1995. This also you remember. UK, May 1995, only they copy pasted this thing. That's what they are saying. Extracted from the report, first report of the Committee on Standards of Public Life, UK, May 1995. Okay. Relationship between ethics and law. Next thing. Relationship between ethics and law. Ethics and law. Do you think all the unethical things are covered in the law? I'm asking a question. Whether all the unethical things are covered under the law? I'm asking, law includes ethics or ethics includes law? I'm just asking, law includes ethics or ethics includes law? All unethical cannot be illegal. All unethical cannot be illegal. Of course. Law includes ethics or ethics includes law? Law came from ethics. Good. That means all the unethical activities covered in law. Then there is no need for ethics, na. If everything is covered in the under the law, na, ethics includes law. Ethics does not cover the that are covered by law. Which means there are some activities legally permitted, but ethically not advisable. Unethical, ethically not advisable. You got it or not? Say for example, you take paper production company. Lot of paper there, na, A4 size paper and all. A4 size paper. Paper is coming from, how paper is coming actually? We are using paper, A4 size paper and all, na. How it is coming, from where it is coming? Trees. Trees it is coming, na. Bamboo, something related to tree, natural thing it is coming. So we have to cut the tree to get the paper, na. Legally permitted or not permitted? Legally permitted or not permitted? Legally permitted, that's why they are cutting and selling the paper, of course. But when you buy that paper, na, you always see there will be bundle, like any paper you buy, na, you can see in that they will mention one point. What they mention na, they will mention from when you are purchasing this A4 sheet bundle, the money you are spending, some portion will go to planting the tree. Some portion of the money will go to planting the new tree. That is how they will make advertisement in all the bundles of that paper, JK paper or TNPL, whatever it is. You just go through that paper bundle. In there they will mention, when you are purchasing this one, your part of the money will go to planting the tree. Why they are doing that? Why they are mentioning that? Why they are mentioning that? Because that is about ethics. You got it or not? Because they are doing an unethical activity, which because law is permitted, because it is legal, so they are cutting the tree. Because they are cutting the tree, then only we can use paper. So there will be some environmental issue. So to compensate that environmental issue, they are mentioning that whenever you are purchasing one bundle of paper, now we will cultivate, plant this much tree, like that, which means they are compensating, which means they are ethical. They are trying to do some ethics over there. It is not a law, rules and regulation. They should not definitely plant a thing. It is not a compulsory thing, but they are doing voluntarily because they are following ethics. You got it what I'm trying to say? You got it what I'm trying to say? Okay. That's what ethics, difference between ethics and law. That is what the difference between ethics and law. Okay. So we will get into the topic now. What is there inside we will see. Law is essentially an institutionalization or codification of ethics into specific social rules, regulation and prescriptions. What they are saying, law is essentially an institutionalization or codification of ethics into specific social rules, comma, regulation and prescription. That's what they are saying. Law is nothing but what they are saying. What is good, what is bad, we know already lot of things. Then make it law. Then try to make it as a law. Whatever you are saying, good or bad, make it as a law. Whatever the things as an ethics, just write in a paper, codification. That is called codification. Make it as a separate institution, institutionalization. Create a separate department, law department. What is not an ethics, punish them. So from ethics only law came. They are writing rules, regulation for that. Okay. Continuation. Perhaps the best way of visualizing the ethics and law is in two intersecting domains as described in the following figure. See, two circle, one side ethics, one side law. Intersection is there. Just they given something. We will continue the theory. Okay. Thus, in one sense, business ethics can be said to begin where law ends. Very good. When law ends, ethics starts. Because if it is covered by law, then no need about ethics. If you are not following, then you are penalized. When you are not penalized, when it is not coming under the law, we will categorize as an ethics. Okay. Business ethics can be said to begin where law ends. When law ends, ethics continues actually. That's what they are saying. Business ethics is primarily concerned with those issues not completely covered by law. Yes, of course. It is not, when it is not covered by law, then it will be covered under the business ethics, or whether there is no definite consensus on whether something is right or wrong. Hence, it is often remarked. Thus, business ethics is about the gray area of business where values are in conflict. Got it? Without water, industry cannot run. If we use more water, then it is a problem to public as well as agriculture. Then we have to balance between water usage. For example, cotton garment industry, you take garment industry, how they are polluting the environment by disposing the contaminated water into the public river and wherever possible, they are just disposing the contaminated, polluted water, because they are doing business. Without that, it is not possible. So all these things consider as an ethics and law. Some cool drinks companies just just taking out the water for their cool drinks production. Publics are suffering. They don't have water for drinking as well as agriculture purpose. Government is allowed, legally it is allowed, but still we have to think about ethics, whether we should utilize all the water or not. Ethics, we have to follow the ethics. Ethics in business, I'm reading further. Business is an extension of the society, and hence no business can continue well for a long if it ignores social value. Without people, I cannot do business. If I ignore social value, then I cannot sustain. You got it or not? For society, only business. I want to make money, so I forget about society now, then I will be in jail. I will be in jail. Supplying alcohol without license, homemade alcohol, then I will be in jail. Okay. Value of people of individual values result into social values, and these values, when adapted by business houses, they become business values or corporate values. All individuals having some value, when they are together doing something as a business, then it will become business value or corporate value. That's what they are saying. According to Andrew Crane, remember, according to Andrew Crane, business ethics is the study of business situation, activities, and decision where issue of right and wrong are addressed. Business ethics is nothing but I'm studying under the business what is correct as per this thing, this situation, whether should I do it or not, should I cut the tree or not, whether it is a ethics or not. Yes, I'm cutting the tree because I have to do the business. I have to make production of paper. Then how can I compensate? I will again plant the new tree. Wrong is cutting the tree. Then what is right? Again plant the tree. That is right. That is ethics. Then next, someone, Raymond C. Baumhart, Baumhart. What he is saying? Content. The ethics of business is the ethics of responsibility. The businessman must promise that he will not harm knowingly. What is ethics? I should not harm others. That's what ethics. That's what he is saying. Okay. Thus, business ethics, also called as corporate ethics, is a form of applied ethics or professional ethics that examines ethical principles and moral or ethical problems that arise in a business environment. It applies to all aspects of business conduct and is relevant to the conduct of individual and the entire organization. It is related to applied ethics, means we are practically applying everywhere. You should not bribe. It's an ethics. You should not give gift to the government employees, government staff. It is an ethics. You should not you should not use personal purpose. You should not use company vehicle for your personal purpose. It is an ethics. You should come in line. Since you are a VIP, you should not directly go to the polling booth. You have to follow the ethics. When there is a line, big line, you have to follow the line. Public, as a public, you have to stand. That is ethics. Okay. Business for profit. Business for profit only. Business for profit only. Business means then it is not a social service, correct? Business, we are doing profit only, but with ethic, we have to do business. We have to make that profit. That's what they're trying to say. We will see. It would seem that business ethics do not come with the confines of ethics. As Adam Smith 1779, remember, as Adam Smith 1779, the father of modern economy says. Who is father of modern economy? Adam Smith 1779. He is the father of the modern economy. What he is saying now, people of the some trade seldom come together even for merriment and diversion, but the conversation ends in a conspiracy against the public or in some contrivance to raise prices. Whenever people are coming together now, definitely they are going to, doing anything against, they are going to do anything against for the public, and they are going to increase the prices. They're only for profit. That's what they are trying to say. People find mechanism to generate highest possible return when conducting business. No one hold it against a worker for demanding higher wages or a landlord for increasing the rent. I will not give more wages. I will not pay more rent to you. I want profit. That's what they are saying. Their actions are not considered illegal or unethical. If I want more profit, then it is not an illegal one. It is not an unethical one. That's what they are saying. Profit are just the wages for invested capital and entrepreneurship. Profit is what? I invested my money, so I am getting money. That's what they are saying. Hence, these should not be resented and should be let alone outside the boundaries of ethics. Business is for profit. The just reward for doing business lies in the excess returns received on the investment. Okay. Then come to the next para. Business and ethics. No matter how hard one tries, it is impossible to separate life from business. Even though you are doing profit now, why we are doing profit? We have to live the life. So business is not separated from the life. So then what? For a businessman, business is a life. That is what Mahatma Gandhi is saying. Mahatma Gandhi, 1948, what he is saying now? It is difficult but not impossible to conduct strictly honest business. Mahatma Gandhi is saying, see, honestly, if you are doing a business, it is very, very difficult only, but it is not, but it is possible only. It is not impossible. You can do honestly business. You can reasonably make profit. That's what they are saying. Make reasonable profit. Don't make over profit or don't make very less profit. That's what they're saying. What he is saying further, what is true is that honesty is incompatible with amazing of large fortune. The business world is an important part of society as it concerned with the livelihood of people. Business activity too is subjected to the code of conduct without any exception. Therefore, there is no separate business ethics for businessmen. What he is saying, ethics everyone follows. You have to follow ethics. Businessman, you should also follow the ethics. Like a common man, you should follow the ethics. Okay, that's what they are saying. Character of business. What is character of business? They are just adding something we will discuss. There are two types of fools. Fool, they are saying, in every market. One asks too little, one asks too much. One is asking, give me more profit. Or another one is saying, give me very less profit. Who is saying that? So says a Russian proverb. Russian proverb, they are saying, is just Institute is copying that Russian proverb and putting here. Okay, but I don't agree for this actually. Is there a concept called balanced profit? What is the balanced profit? The business in a society reflects its character. Transparency internationally in its corruption index. See, they are adding a lot of different points together. First, what they said, the Russian proverb said, you should not ask more or you should not ask less. You have to ask in average. That's what they're saying. And they're asking a question, next pair, next line. Is there a concept called balanced profit? Maybe it will be there. But India, we have to see. And also, corruption index. That's what the third line. Corruption index, in corruption index, Finland, Denmark, New Zealand is in top position. They are not doing corruption. They are very less corruption, happy country. Finland is an happiest country in the world. And Denmark, New Zealand is also, they are having good governance. See, out of 10 points, they are in a 9.4 point actually. Out of 10 point, they are in around 9.4 point, but India is in 72nd rank with just 3.5 point. with just 3.5 point. India is a corrupted country. That's what they're trying to say. Corrupted country. Here business and all, no honestiness. That's what they're trying to say. We may gloat over our culture heritage. What they are saying. Our culture, maybe we will be pride yoga, Hindu culture, all those things we are saying. But and we are glorifying ourselves for religious and ethical thing. But we stand exposed before world as a corrupted society. Any foreigner will see, look at in India, na, how they will know this is a corrupt country, man. Like that they will look. That's what they are saying. Corruption prevails in all walks of life. Here they are saying everywhere corruption. From birth to death, everywhere corruption. That's what they are saying. Corruption prevails in all walks of life, whether political, social, or economic. If you have to improve our business, we have to improve our business behavior. Don't corrupt. Don't give corruption to the officers for getting the license. That's what they are saying. So character of business is worst in India. That's what our institute is saying. Institute material is saying. Professional ethics. This is what the very important thing. The aforementioned discussion may be understood with the following distinction: ethics and business ethics. We have studied the distinction between normative and practical ethics and have established that business ethics comes under practical ethics. Business ethics comes under practical ethics only. Theoretically not important. Theoretically we will write lot of things, not important. Practically what we are doing, that is applied ethics, practical ethics, and applied to a particular activity. Just as a society functions on the social codes of conduct and the country is governed by its constitution, business run on corporate codes. In other words, there is a professional code of conduct for any business. What they are saying, any business there will be code of conduct, professional code of conduct, business ethics they have to follow. Corporate governance is one of the ethics they have to follow. These codes keep evolving as other things around evolve and develop. Therefore, not only should business be defined with conflict confines of ethics, but it should be practiced strictly under its own professional code of conduct. Every business they should have some professional code of conduct. I will not give bribe, I will not get bribe, I will work at a time, I will work leave at a time, I will work for some hours, I will be punctual at my work, I will complete my work within some timelines. So that ethics I have to, code of conduct I have to follow. Okay, where I left. These code keep evolving as other things around evolve and develop. Therefore, not only should business defined with the confines of ethics, but it should be practiced strictly under its own professional code of conduct. The distinction helps to orient the general principles of ethics and business in a particular activity. The principles, however, do not change. Principle do not change. Each company will be having different code of conduct, but principle is what? You should not harm others. You should apply the best practice. That's what they are saying. For example, they are saying, for instance, there is a manager who is doing very well in his career because he is both efficient and honest to his neighbors and friends. He is not only very successful businessman, but also very good family man. There is one manager is there. He is a very efficient and honest person. For neighbor and family and for his family also, he is very, very honest person. Okay. Then to a question asked by a journalist, one journalist coming and asking question to this manager, how he divided his time between his family and business despite his busy schedule. He replied, someone is asking how you managed your family and office, sir, how you managed this? And he replied efficiently. He is replying efficiently, I managed. What is the secret of your success? Journalist asking. He replied honesty. Wow. Then journalist looked at inquiring as to say, look, business and family as a separate. Then journalist, what he asked, sir, you said honestly and efficiently, but family and business both are separate, we cannot be very honestly and efficiently in both. Correct or wrong? Like that, that journalist asked that person. He said, see, for me, business and family both are same. Wherever I will go, I will follow honesty. I will follow efficiently. I will handle everything efficiently. I will follow honestly wherever I go. It is not about business or it is not about family, because that is my practice, that is my culture, that is my ethics, that is what I follow, that is my code of conduct which I apply everywhere. Family na I will react like one thing, business na I will react like another thing. It is not like that. I will be constant everywhere. That's what they are saying. That is what important for a person. That's what they are trying to say. Okay, I'll read further. He replied honestly. The journalist looked at an inquiry as to say, look, business and family are separate. The businessman said, both efficiency honestly work equally well at work and at home. Both efficiency and honesty work equally well at work and at home. The character of a true professional remains undivided. When I'm a when I have a good character, I have to apply everywhere same. I should not be impartial between home and work. That's what he is saying. Whether the character of a true professional remains undivided, whether at work or at home. Our rules may change from time to time and from place to place, but integrity of character should be maintained. Character is same. Maybe rules and all will change everywhere, but if I have a good character, I have to apply everywhere. That's what they are saying. Okay. Then continuation. Compensation, competency, character. All these three things are very important. Competency means what? Skills, professional skills. Character means I'm a good person. I should not give bribe. I should not do any illegal activity. I should not misuse the rules and regulation. That is character. Compensation, I should get good remuneration for what I am working. All the three things are very important. That is business ethics. That's what they are saying. Business ethics, thus professionally adheres to a code of conduct that is in accordance with the normative principles further. It may be concretely stated that professional behavior following market characteristics. If for a proper business ethics, they have to follow all these three things. What is competency? I should have a sufficient skill. I should qualify CMA for doing cost audit. Professional skills, I should have went for training for many years to know how to do cost audit. Compensation, I should get good cost audit fees, 10 lakh, 20 lakhs per cost audit. Then that is a good remuneration for me. That is called 3 C's. 3 C is what? 3 C is what? Compensation, competency, character. This is 3 C. And again 3 P. 3 P's of sustainability in business. What is the 3 P we will see? People, planet, profit. People means what? I have to give respect employee. I have to give promotion to my employee. I have to give respect to my customer. I have to give value addition to my customer. General people, I have to safeguard the public interest. That is people. Social values. I should not do unethical things. That is for people. Planet environment. I should not misuse the environment. I have to protect the resources. I should not release wastage in the river. I should not release industrial wastage in the river. That will affect the environment. I should not release more pollution to the earth. Okay, that is related to planet environment. And again, one is profit, return on investment, creating value of the business in monetary terms. Of course, I need profit. That should be consistently. I have to create that profit for on a long-term basis, no short-term basis. I have to create value to the business. Got it? So 3P: people, planet, environment, profit, return on investment. Return on investment, these three things. Okay, a balance is to be made of all the three above. I have to balance between people, planet, environment, profit. If I get more profit, then I will lose planet, environment, because I am misusing the resources. Likewise, we have to balance between all the three P's. Okay, so with this, I will wind up for the day. In next class, we will discuss the balance portion, and also we will discuss 1 mark also. Whatever the 1 mark available here, we will discuss. What I suggest is you go through this 1 mark. whatever the manner you possible, you please go through. Next class we will discuss the balance portion, and 1 mark we will cover. That is the plan for the next class. Okay, so that's all for the day. Thank you, all of you. Start preparing now onwards. Don't wait for last time preparation. This is the great opportunity for all of you by joining this course, highly valuable course. So don't waste your time. Very important phase of life in your career, actually. Very important phase. This is very important. After +2 to next to 3 to 4 years, very important. So take it seriously. Take it seriously. And if you have any other doubts and other things, I'm ready to help you. Okay, always message me your doubts. Thank you, all of you. Share your number. Okay, I will share my number also. Okay, thank you, all of you.